Whoa, what's going on, everybody? We're here at Adepticon. Bonus video, sort of a bonus.
Why did we drive all the way out here?
It's so long of a drive. We're so tired. We have some really important news to give you guys. We noticed that a certain stock has gone to 0. And that stock is Skaventide.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Well, man.
Have you ever been excited about an item? It's like finding and being excited about an item and then finding out everyone in the world already owns it. And you're like, oh, there's nothing special about this anymore.
Our first, okay, just give you a little bit of background here. Like, we've been going to Adepticon for years, and one of the funny sort of like Adepticon-isms is that every year there's sort of like a desperate company that's giving away like a massive like starter box or something. Basically like, please play our game, or like, we can't sell this for the price we're asking. Please give us a tax write-off. And so our game we play on the way up a lot of times is like, oh, who's going to be, which company's dying or whatever, and giving away a free set of models or whatever.
It's not been a good record.
It's not been a good
It's not good.
And
there was a year with something called Rune Wars. Dead.
Oh, Rune Wars.
They gave out all the Star Wars Legion. It's not dead yet, but it's,
you could almost say like the old ones rip or whatever, and they're just like basically making a new Star Wars Legion. But
what did they give away last year? I was there. Oh, there was the year where Battlefront gave out their tanks game, or like
Battlefront gave away like a Flames of War box.
They're like new. They're like new. Like, this is the new cool starter. So let's give it away.
So cool. We can't sell it for anything.
It didn't even come out yet. It was like,
oh man,
it was not good. So the idea is supposed to be that like, here's the thing: we get all these players are going to be in this game now, but like they forget that like you give away too many, and then
not even that. It's just like yes, but
everyone who wants one gets one. It's like the Kickstarter thing.
It's like there's a weird thing where like if something doesn't have monetary value, people don't care about it. Like, they don't respect it. They don't. True. If you like. It's happened to us before many times where we've gotten the free stuff at Adepticon, and you just go like, cool. I guess this cost me nothing, so it means nothing. Yeah. And like, there's no like, when you spend $300 on a Skaventide, so I guess you're a sucker for doing that. But like, I'm a sucker. You put your time and effort and money into it. You invest time. You care. You have to care. You wanted it. You made a decision.
We see it even
committed to it, right?
With the dumb things in the store where we're like, people are like, how much is learning to paint? I'm like, you just bring in your models and paints. I'll show you.
People are like, oh, that's
I don't care.
I don't care. When are you doing a painting class for $50? I'll sign up right now. You're like, okay. Yeah. It's weird. Like, people. I mean, it makes sense. We've built an economy where we value, like, it's a market economy. Things only matter if they cost money in a strange way, right? If something's more expensive, it has to be better, right? That's what we've kind of decided as an economy. So like, we all mentally kind of believe that to some degree, I think.
So when we say they gave away Skaventide, we mean it was like pallets. They were pallets, multiple, full, what's a pallet? Like 4x4 by like 8 tall. Like, it's just hundreds of boxes.
So this just confirmed, like, we called this
given away.
Right, like last summer, we called this. We said Skaventide was a flop, right?
Sure.
And it wasn't a flop because the set wasn't good. It wasn't a flop because the game isn't good. It was a flop because they just made too many again. And it's so tragic that the thing I hate the most about I don't want to come off as someone who's like, oh, Chris is mad because a bunch of people are getting like a big awesome box of models for free. No, I'm not upset about that. I'm just upset that like all the people that invested money into that and paid good dollars for a great box, like to have that like be worth nothing now almost, right? Like it doesn't feel good to watch a whole bunch of people get a $300
not good for consumer
box
confidence.
For free because they couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
And like, it just makes me think like, number one, so that was obviously a colossal failure. Why did GW do it? Massive tax write-off.
It's got to be tax
write-off. They get to write off the retail value of the box, basically. Yeah. I believe that's how it works. So it's a huge, nice tax write-off. Get it off the books. And they're going to be like,
oh, look, we look at all these boxes we gave away to Adepticon, and all these people that are going to try our game now, and you're like,
I guarantee 50% of those people, maybe 70% of those people, are looking to flip it already.
They're already like
They're looking to
posting
flip
it to eBay.
And I know this because, hey man, this is not my first rodeo here.
No.
Like, there's a reason why we don't buy the premium badge anymore.
No.
Because we've learned the lesson of like, you get so much stuff that you're like, oh, cool, I got so much stuff, I feel great. And then a few weeks later, you're like, yeah, but it's all stuff I didn't like personally decide I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a loot bag. I mean, on paper, you know, whatever, I don't know what it costs for these $180. Like, they give you $500 of value.
Oh, easily.
So,
sure,
you know,
sure.
you should be.
No,
like,
people.
Most people walking around.
People are pretty happy. They got smiles on their face.
Holy
They're
crap!
like, I can't believe how
like
lucky
you got to
I
be
am.
like legitimately like, are you really gonna like how much this is like? And we have friends that have gotten them.
Yeah.
And they're just like they just toss most of it out. Like it's like it's just crazy. So. It was staggering to see the thing. I think Bruce and I were both shocked and gobsmacked by
Yeah, because we're looking at like we're talking like it could be close to 1,000 boxes. It could
Maybe
it could be more than 1,000 boxes.
It could be, and I've seen them wheel more out. Like it wasn't like that was it. That was just what we saw at the moment.
And I just
now
is this before you go there? Is it, like I guess I'll just pose this and maybe we can answer this later or whatever. But like, is this the end of the launch box experiment? Or is this just like a rude wake-up call that like we need to make this rare again?
This is the whole discussion about like you know, anything that's not 40K, maybe Horse Heresy, like Hivestorm, the new Typhon box, like Skaventide, like you said, they got to make them in less numbers.
Yeah,
and then there's still the problem with the price being like it's too much. It's like those two things together. I mean, the Typhus Typhon, whatever it's called, probably cooler than Vespids and Aquilons.
Yep.
Like it looks pretty neat.
Looks pretty
Raveners and what do they?
But there's still like this like price expectation.
Is a kill
for a
team
game like
player
Kill Team,
gonna
right?
spend $300?
That's the thing, right?
On 2 crews and some terrain, and
when a kill team like when a full kill team experience costs like $100, and then you're asking for 300 for
launch box is fine because for the $300 you're getting like a 2,000 point Heresy army or like 100 and something plus models of AOS or like all the models you get in late Leviathan, like those. That's what that's supposed to. That's what kind of makes the money where you're like, oh, I gotta buy it. It's no brainer. But if there's a billion copies, it just really just kills that. Like it's not special.
It's supposed to be this limited time offer, great value thing, which it is a great value, but it hasn't been limited time offer for a long time. And I think this is the bottom. I think we're at the bottom. This has got to be the bottom of this like idea right now.
Yeah.
We've bottomed out, and I'm really interested to see in 2 years and next summer's 40K again. Can't believe I'm saying that. So that'll be really telling.
Yeah.
Because we'll see what they're. That's a really safe one. Like they've never failed with a 40K box yet. So like I can still see this like formula being played out. Mm-hmm. But the next AOS box in 2 years and 2 months or whatever it is, 3 months.
I don't think they're going to stop. I don't think so.
They just have to
they're
make less than.
They're not going to stop.
They got to make less.
They're not going to stop.
Or
if you're a hobbyist owner, tread very carefully.
So careful, man.
Take those. You got to take.
You're not Jesus on water, man. You can't be walking across
the
water.
Leviathan thing. Not Leviathan.
You're vulnerable.
And Dominus. I don't think that's happening again. I just don't think so.
No, it hasn't happened.
We're in the age of like everything's an exciting launch box. Either the Slanesh box, then the next Death Rattle box, and Krieg box, and Get Mobs, and there's so many of these. It's not a special product. It's just a product now. Like you just, well, you're a shop owner. You just like whatever number you're thinking of, like half it. Start there, and then take all the money.
You might
down,
have to half it again,
and then take all the money down, and you might have to slash it again. And don't even. And if you know if it's hot and you run out, just take that.
That's a win, man.
And just hold it close to your heart. And you're like, I did it. You know,
the victory now. The sad part is the victory now with these things like these. Like we've talked about this in past videos, but it used to be an exciting like the launch, the summer like new release, like new edition used to be such an exciting time, especially for a shop, because you're like, wow, this is my one time I make a lot of money. Like usually it was supposed to be like a good. And I say a lot of money. I don't mean a lot of money. I mean like more than normal for a hobby store. You know, like it felt good, right? It felt good, and it was relatively risk free. Yeah. You know, you're just kind of laughing with box sets and whatever. And now it's become this like risk game where you just like it's such a toxic product once once that like release window hits, it's such a toxic product.
Nobody. Well, I mean, there was also Dominion was also.
Oh man, I try to block out Dominion. What a nightmare.
So this has happened even before. Yeah, this is 2 ads of...
Yeah. And like we learned our lesson from Dominion. That's why we didn't get burned on Skaventide. We were very good. But
Skaventide, like literally, we're not a big store, but 20, 25 copies maybe. Like it was, you would think at our store, if you looked in our store, tour incoming eventually soon.
For Patrons.
For Patrons first. You will see, and you've probably gotten some snippets from some of our little army showcases or whatever. We have a lot of AOS armies on display. There's like a dozen of them. Chris and I are big AOS players. And there's a lot of it's showcased, we talk about it, all this stuff. And we run events for it and leagues, and you think based on that, oh yeah, the store should no problem be able to move 20, 30, 40 copies. It's it's the price. Customers already know. They're customers are already like, oh, I can wait.
There's no urgency.
It's gone.
And let's be real.
If you sleep on it for 3 days or a week, you're like, I guess I don't need it. I guess I don't need it.
Or a year. Just take a year off and think about it. You might be able to get one for half price or free. Even free. Apparently they're free now.
I think legitimately, if I just started throwing $50 around, like I could make 50 here, 50. I think I could have left with 4 or 5 copies.
Sure.
Oh, sweet.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like
a poor vendor that brought some to sell.
I'll go. Oh man, he's not selling a single one this weekend. Even if the price was $50,
you slapped like 7 boxes in his van.
It's a tragic end to what ultimately was a really great product.
Yeah,
and I just hate seeing it happen, because of sort of mismanaging the production side, and I think sometimes UW can they believe their hype a little bit too much. We got to make AOS as big as 40K, or at least this much big, close to 40K. So it's going to be that big. And you can't just will it into reality.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if it's a marketing thing, but I imagine with product launches and design of anything, video game, whatever, miniatures, there's I think it's up to the company to will it to be big. It just doesn't mean that
they do.
It will.
No,
but that's the only way to do that. You can't I mean, yes, sometimes timestamp it. Sometimes you trench crusade and you just put something out and it goes big, despite maybe what you thought was going to happen. But I see it with big companies more so because they're more risk takey.
Mm-hmm.
They have the resources to be. A little company takes a risk, they just flops, they just die. But Gibbs Workshop's if
a Corvus Belly had a Skaventide situation,
company's gone.
Company's probably dissolved or whatever.
Yeah, so I think they look at it as
look,
this is the percentage of the business. We need to make this many copies, and we're going to sell them. And if we don't, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And then the reality is that probably from your first experience. I don't know how many U.S. stores are. I don't know, 200 or something. 195 of them are the guy.
The Warhammer stores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The guy running it is the manager's I only play 40K or whatever. I don't know what an AOS is. And there's a reality to that maybe you're not aware of, but a lot of guys that they don't even. They're oh, that's cool.
It's an old part of the culture that seems to still be lingering or whatever, where you just there's just not enough. At the ground level, there's not enough fight still. You know what I mean? People see the unequal sort of status of the games coming into these shops, and they just go, that's the way it is, and they kind of accept that and kind of shrug their shoulders, and they don't do anything to necessarily try to change or alter that, right? So it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point, right?
Yeah. And for the viewers, I know you're going to ask this question. I'm playing in the AOS Champs and 195 players, pretty much. I think it's more than last year.
That's down from a few years ago, though.
Yes, but it's stabilized. I think last year was 175.
I remember 300-ish kind of
300 to 400 in the first few
ago.
years.
Yeah.
So it seems, and I see a lot of the same returns. So it seems like it's settled in. There's a passionate fan base that loves the game. maybe add a player here and there.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a wrap up after the whole weekend. But like, I think you mentioned this last year, and I noticed this as well. It's like they are losing the casual player a little bit more, for sure.
Oh,
undisputably.
Everyone I played today and I expect to play tomorrow will all be like, know all the rules, know everything.
Yeah.
Bring a good army.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's just a byproduct. I think
no one was a schlub at all. Everyone was like,
So whether that's good or bad, I don't know what to say about that. I think less players is always bad, but who knows?
Well, it hasn't like taken this massive like we're like a huge like since at least in the last few years it's kind of stayed the same. I haven't seen like a huge drop.
But we didn't see. I guess you didn't see a big bump from 4th edition, right?
No.
So it has the game. That'd be a good topic for another video. Has the game actually become more accessible and invited new people into the game? I don't know. Maybe if you're watching,
I didn't look. I don't know what the Spearhead event is. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah,
that would be a good metric if they get a couple hundred players doing that. Then like,
they just announced a new Spearhead thing, which is cool. So there's a new season of Spearhead.
Sand and bones and sand.
Bone, sand, yeah.
This is right up there with Sand Trap, I gotta say. Companies, stop putting sand.
It's not an exciting word.
It's not.
I don't care.
Bone is fine.
Like,
bone is
I
okay.
can't get excited.
I can work with
sand.
I can work with bone, but just stop it. Just stop putting sand in the title of your game. People know this. There's a reason it's called Dune and not Sand.
Yeah.
They could have called it Sand.
Sand.
They could have called it
Sand.
They could have just called it.
Arrakis is now Sand.
Just Sand.
Sand.
So,
but
they could have called it Dune Bone. Don't do that.
We're a little tired. It's been a long day. We're gonna make a bunch more of these like little hop shop videos. I'm sorry the quality might not be as good, the sound might not be as good, but we're trying to give you some content while we're at Adepticon, and we couldn't do the same kind of quality that we can do normally in the shop.
Yeah.
If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you. You can check us out a couple times a week doing these sorts of update videos about random stuff about the hobby from a retailer perspective.
It's our chance to, while we're here, ask us your Adepticon questions.
Yeah,
what it's like, what's going on.
Come find us too if you're here at Adepticon. Jay's playing AOS tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'm playing Marvel.
You'll find me somewhere in the numbers that are in the high numbers. So it's somewhere.
That means it's not good.
That means it's not good. Somewhere in the 80s, 90s, 100s, like way in the back. Yeah, on the bottom. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Check out our Patreon, Lords of War Games and Hobbies, where you can support us and you can look forward to some exclusive content coming in April. Until next time, take care, guys.
Thanks. Bye.